Coach, it's got to be a great honor, obviously, for nominated for the award. But what does it say about the guys that you have in your group that you're working with?
Well, I think first of all, it starts with the players I have in the running back room. Obviously, to get nominated for that award started last year, and then obviously into this year. Just got some great young guys in there, young men that run the ball hard. They do what they're coached to do. They take coaching, they show up every day, and they work harder. And then on top of that, just the staff that we're surrounded with. Obviously, with Coach Hiller, who coaches the O-line. The lanes they open up for the guys, and obviously the run plan we put together with him and Coach DeBoard, and then Coach Sheridan. Obviously, between all of us and Coach Hurt, obviously we just do a great job, and it's really because of them. We work together well as a staff, and we just try to run the ball.
Coach Matt Stouter mentioned he contacted you when he found out he was in remission. Can you just talk about that process and just your relationship with him?
Yeah, Matt and I have gotten close over the past, 2 years since I've been here, really year and a half, I guess you can say. And just, obviously, I had a chance to go visit him when he was, getting one of his treatments during the summer. And just, every Monday, obviously, that he had a treatment every other Monday, be at practice on Tuesday. So you just love the kid for who he is and what he does, and shows up every day, doesn't complain, been at every game this year, every practice. And obviously, I knew it was a big day when that was happening. And it's funny because the kid's so humble. When he found out, I talked to his mom. His mom said he wanted to come back, straight back and tell us. And when he came upstairs, I was in meetings. And so he didn't interrupt. That's just kind of kid he is. The biggest news of your life, and he didn't want to interrupt the football meeting to let us know that, obviously he was cancer-free and in remission. So just love that kid for that. He's a phenomenal kid, phenomenal person. And then obviously, he texted me and I told him, obviously come see me, man. He had already left, but I'm just so happy for him. And, when you think things are bad and you just see Matt every day, you know what he's going through and what he's been through. And he just brings up your day every day.
With how much he had to go through, were you surprised at all by his mindset that he, kept coming back even after treatments?
When you get to know the kid, you're just not surprised. Like I said, he's a kid last year that got a concussion in practice when Lego hit him in the head with a ball. We all know how hard Lego throws the ball. And he's a kid that, doctor told him not to do anything, and he's still taking notes during the game for me. And I get to the office on Sunday morning, and all my notes are right there that he was supposed to do as if he was on the sideline. So, it's just the kind of kid he is. It's a phenomenal kid, raised the right way, and just cares a lot about Indiana football.
Let me ask you about Stevie a little bit. And he's obviously had to carry a lot of the load this fall. And every time we ask him about how he's feeling, how his body, my body feels great. What's it been like to watch him as a freshman take on the load and seem to carry it pretty well?
He's a big boy, as we said all along. He's all of 6'1", 6'2", 235 pounds, and he's a young buck. So he has fresh legs, as I say. But the thing, if you watch Stevie run, is Stevie doesn't really get hit hard. Stevie delivers a blow, and he delivers the blow all the time. And so I think that's what helps him out a lot. I think some big backs take a lot of blows. I think that Stevie is a guy that, he falls forward, he leans forward, and when you feel it when you hit him for the most part. So I think, he's more the hammer, not the nail. And I think that works for his benefit right now. And he's doing a good job. With the O-line, they're doing a great job. So as long as he gets a crease in there, he's going to fall forward and get a few yards. But he's one guy, I'm obviously not, like to get him more than 20 carries a game if you can, and I think he can handle that his whole career without a question.
Mike, can you talk a little bit about the freshman running backs you've coached here in the last 2 years? You've had to deal with freshmen more than you have veterans for the most part because of injury.
No question. I think that's kind of been almost my whole coaching career. It's kind of been my theme. Last year, obviously, with Morgan and Cole. Cole was a redshirt freshman. Morgan was a true freshman, so playing with them. And had some older guys to help out. Same thing as this year. Still have Mike, still have Ricky to kind of plug in there and help us out. And then, this year, again, with the two injuries, with the injury early and obviously everything that happened with the other situation, going with Stevie, going with Ronnie. Stevie was a guy that, I was planning on playing 4 games this year. And Ronnie redshirt. And obviously things change fast. They're out of your control. And those are two guys that, I think they're going to be really good players here. They're doing a really good job. And, obviously the biggest thing is, they got to keep coming every day and getting better. Because, again, there's going to be more freshmen coming in next year. That's what I tell them every day. And there's going to be more freshmen coming in next year, and they're going to want to play. So the biggest thing I got to do is just off season, as the season goes on, get better every day. Off season comes, get better. and just show up to compete every day. Because as I always tell the guys, your job's never safe.
Coach, kind of a two-parter, but I guess when was the last time you were able to visit Ann Arbor in the big house, and what's going to be like walking back out onto that field again?
And I haven't been in a big house in a while. Obviously, my job kind of takes away from that standpoint the last few years. Last time I was probably at the big house when I was coaching at Eastern Michigan, my first coaching job. Played there one time, my first year coaching. We played there. And that was right after I was kind of out. So it's to me, it's another game. I think a lot of people make more of it than what it is. I think in our profession as coaches, I think there's a lot of coaches that coach a lot of places, that play a lot of places. Obviously, I went there. It's my alma mater, you know what I mean? And obviously, I care about the place from that standpoint. I think everyone cares about their alma mater. There's no question. But on Saturday, I want to win. On Saturdays, I care about Indiana football all year long. My son probably tells me more about Michigan than I know nowadays. And because again, we play every Saturday. We're coaching. We're working all week. So obviously, it's a place that's special in my heart, without question. I would be lying if I didn't say that. It's my alma mater. I think that's the case for anybody, for any university you ever go to, right? But I think that when you have a job, you have a job to do, and your job is to win, and our job is to go in there and win.
You know what it's like to play in the big house, in that atmosphere. What do you tell your players about just blocking that out and ignoring it? What is your advice as somebody who's been on the other side of that crowd, just how they could deal with it?
Well, I think our guys have had experience this year, and going into last year. You go into Penn State, you play at Penn State, you play at Ohio State, you play at the Shoe. It's just similar to those situations. I think once you get locked into a game, you have tunnel vision. I think when you run out at first, you'll see everybody, but after that, you have tunnel vision. And that's the same thing I preach all the time, same thing Coach Allen preaches. We got to play one play at a time. And you really do just block out everything that's around it. Because when you do let it distract you, that's when it becomes an issue.
Last season, the running game wasn't able to be too effective when Michigan played here. What can you take from that game to make sure that doesn't repeat itself?
Can you say that one more time?
Last year, the running game against Michigan wasn't effective when the game was here. What can you take from that game to make sure that doesn't happen again on Saturday?
I mean, obviously, as coaches, number one, it comes down to the game plan, and then number two, it comes down to execution. We're going to call the best plays that we think are going to work. We don't call run plays thinking they're not going to work. We want to call run plays that we think are going to get 3.5, 4 yards of play. And we don't go into a game thinking, hey, this play's only going to run for 1 yard. Like, we want to get 3.5, 4 yards of play. And, so again, game planning today, starting yesterday, going on to today, that's what we want to do. Obviously, they're a tough defense. I mean, they're the best defense in the country. So nothing comes easy against them. And we have to earn what we get, and we're gonna go in there, we're going to fight.
What does the Broyles Award nomination mean to you? What does the Broyles Award nomination mean to you, just as a professional?
I think it's a great honor. It obviously means a lot because your head coach has to nominate you for that, and obviously my respect for Coach Allen is immense. I have a lot of respect for him and the way he does things and who he is, and I just really just thanked him for doing that and nominating me, because obviously he had to say some good things about me. I don't know if they're all true, but he said some good things about me for it to happen, and so really it just means a lot from that standpoint. Like I told him, no matter if I ever get nominated again or not, you'll just never, I'll never forget that, this first time. And obviously being a younger coach, it's a great honor. And it's something that you see every year, and you hope your name's on one time. And it's just a great honor, and I appreciate Coach Allen for that.
Coach, obviously you and DeBoard go back a ways from when you were a player. What's your guys' relationship like, and what's it like being on the same staff now?
With who?
Coach DeBoard.
Oh, Coach Devo? He's old now. He used to be young. No, he's just great. He's a great mentor. He's kind of we call him Pops. He's kind of the grandpa in the room, and he has just so much knowledge, and just the way he handles the room, the way he handles us, the things he teaches us. It's just all, he's been a lot of places and coached a lot of ball, won a lot of games, lost a lot of games, and so, but all those things is just knowledge, and he's just a great person just to pick his brain, and like I always say, I always tell my players, you can be wise with another man's wisdom, but you can't be knowledgeable with another man's knowledge. So I just try to get all the wisdom I can from him, and then as I win, as I lose as a coach, just take that knowledge, from that. I probably messed that up, so don't quote me on that one. But it's one of those things where he's been around a long time. It's like talk to my, I don't want to call him my grandpa, but talked to my grandpa when he was alive when I was in high school. You know, you get to learn a lot from them and what they've been through in their past and their history. And you just got to take it all in and learn from it. And if you don't, then I'll be the dumb one in the long run.